when I first saw that little boy enter this hardware store, I said to myself, my God, there is something wrong with that child. Which is a heck of a thing to say about an 11-year-old entering a hardware store holding his mother's hand, but that is what I felt. Sorry? No, miss, axe handles are aisle 7 all the way down. Because I had this odd feeling. And I remember thinking, I don't want anything to do with this kid. I'm going to go to the bathroom. It's not going to be my customer. So I turned and a paper fell off the shelf. I stooped to pick it up, and then the phone rang. My manager took it, and the other salesman in the center, I could hear his name being yelled from the back because some rakes were falling. And when I came back up, that little boy, his mother, and that odd feeling were standing right in front of me. Sir? Candy's in the first aisle. The boxed chocolates are halfway down, and the loose stuff's in front of the register. You're welcome. So, that odd little boy's mother says to me, it's his 11th birthday and we're here for a present. Oh, that's wonderful, I said. How old are you, son? The boy says, old enough for a .22 rifle. I look at the mother. The mother's going like, which of course is the universal silent mother sign for over my dead body. So, like an idiot, I say, well, son, what would you like? And of course, the son comes back with a .22 rifle, please, with 6 cartridge boxes. The mother is now staring at me with her eyes bugging out of her head as if to say, what is wrong with you, woman? Do you not understand the universal silent mother sign for no? Yes? No, the bathrooms are at the back, past the garden supplies, the women on the left and the men on the right. So, I say to the kid, son, instead of a rifle, how about I show you a brand new guitar. Now this child, this 11-year-old child, is looking at me with the same expression that a cow has when it's watching a train go by. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever watched a cow watch a train go by? That, I don't know what it is, but I don't want any part of it. Look, that's what the kid's giving me. Sir, the asbestos insulation is aisle 5, plumbing. So, I say it again. A guitar is wonderful. You can learn to play and read music, be cultured. I took piano lessons. I never regretted it. And the mother's smiling, but the kid, he's giving me the silent no thing. So, I say to him, how would you like to just look at one of these guitars, huh? The kid's eyes start to swell up with tears. He looks at his mother and he goes, but Mom, you said. But son, she comes back with, they are just too dangerous. Oh, that was it. All hell broke loose. This kid started screaming. He threw a temper tantrum. He threw himself on the floor. So I took off to get the guitar. What? Now, of course your car is fine there. This is Tupelo. In fact, I'll keep an eye on it. Now, I remember thinking to myself that no matter what I do, I cannot let this kid touch this guitar because he's going to smash it, and then I'm going to have to pay for it. Here it is, payday. I get my paycheck in an hour, and the last thing I need is to have money deducted because of this 11-year-old. So, I come back, and I put the guitar down on the counter. And the mother, now she's standing there poking at him. You know that dagger of morality index finger poking that mothers do? And she's telling him, son, take this now. No, the boy says. It's this or nothing. Now that little boy, he's taking these deep breaths, and his nostrils are flaring, because you know he's thinking, I don't want this, but I don't want nothing either. So, this is where I hop in with my big sales line. I get to use this all the time. Everyone wants to be a country western singer, especially in Tupelo, Mississippi. They all want to be like Mississippi Slim. He's a local boy, famous and all. And I know that this kid knows who Slim is, because every kid his age is a fan. So, I say, son, you know who Mississippi Slim is, don't you? Yes, ma'am. Well, you take this, learn how to play, and you may be famous like Mississippi Slim someday. Yes, miss? The harmonicas are right in that glass case. Yes, if you see something you like, I will get it out for you. So, I stoop. I get down right to the level of this kid's face, barely reaching over the counter. And I say, son, what is your name? Elvis, the boy says. Well, Elvis, what's your last name? Presley, he adds. Elvis Presley. I'm going to remember that name because someday I might hear that name and I'll get to say that I was the lady that sold him his first guitar when he wanted a rifle. Kids have none of the humor in this. But the mother's smiling and she's saying, that's right, Elvis, you may be another Mississippi Slim someday. And Elvis is just standing there, stunned. So I took the guitar and I handed it to the mother, and she tried to hand it to the boy and he just looked down. So I reached over the counter and I gave him a bag of picks, a tuning pipe, and a handful of lollipops, said, happy 11th birthday. The boy said, thank you, ma'am. And they walked out. Which one, miss? No, the blue guitar is $12.95. Would you like to see it first? I'll be right with you. But the reason why I bring this up is my mother used to get these odd feelings whenever she was around something that was going to happen. And I never understood what she was talking about until that little boy came into this hardware store. Because I had a very odd feeling about that little boy. Like something was going to happen to that little boy. And I hope, and I don't know how to interpret these things, but I pray that I'm wrong and that that little boy doesn't do something really crazy one day with a gun. Or with that guitar.
National news, President Eisenhower was released from Walter Reed Hospital following intestinal surgery and will be traveling to recuperate in his home in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In show news, Pulitzer Prize-winning dramatist Arthur Miller married film actress Marilyn Monroe in White Plains, New York. The service lasted less than 5 minutes. Mr. and Mrs. Miller then got into their sports car and disappeared into traffic. And tonight on the Steve Allen Show, the new Elvis Presley will sing his controversial rock and roll hit song and also appear in a comedy sketch with guests Imogen Coca and Andy Griffin.
Steve? Mr. Allen, calm down. You're getting yourself bent out of shape about this. It's going to go fine. No, I am not taking this lightly. I think we have Presley over a barrel and he knows it. Steve? Steve! Go on, hang up. Great.
He's coming down the hall.
Great.
Do you think he's going to back out of all this?
He can't.
And then if they argue, do we negotiate?
No, Mr. Allen does not want to negotiate. Presley wants to be on television. This is how he's going to do it. This is only a final meeting to pick up the tax and pick a dog.
Oh. Oh, they are cute, aren't they? Oh, and so are you. Do you think one of them is going to stand still for this? Dogs love music. Come in. Give me a paw. Oh, give me a paw.
Hi,
Hello. You are
Cynthia, Cornell Tom Parker's secretary.
Al Mabit, Stephen Allen's secretary. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
But where are the Colonel and Mr. Presley?
I'm here for both, and they have 3 questions and a request.
Great. Oh, this is Bob.
Hi.
Bob is the secretary for our network sensors. He'll be taking the minutes.
Nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you too.
Oh, the Basset Hounds.
Yes.
I love Basset Hounds. Meow. Hello. Hello to you too. Ah, this looks like female,
It is
and this looks like male.
female too.
2 females, Elvis gets along best with that.
I'll say. We're trying to pick one, so if you have any preference.
Lucky ducks.
Now, Cynthia, very quickly, and I'm sure you received our memo on this.
We did.
So the Colonel and Mr. Presley are aware that there will be a hound dog on a pedestal?
They are.
It's going to have a short leash so it can't move around. The hound dog, that is, not Mr. Presley.
Which is Colonel Tom's first question. Whose idea is this?
Fair question, Mr. Rounds.
Second question. Can Mr. Presley move around the pedestal?
No,
No moving around pedestal.
because the dog's there. He's not going to gyrate around the dog. You don't want Presley gyrating around you, do you? I think they understand.
I think they disagree. Last question. Can Mr. Presley ignore the dog
He can't ignore the dog.
and sing to the audience?
He has to sing to the hound dog.
Must sing to the dog?
He has to sing to the hound dog.
Okay.
Cynthia, this was clearly stated in the memo.
Don't shoot. I'm just a messenger.
He's singing you ain't nothing but a hound dog to the hound dog. That's the deal.
Sings funny on some level.
Cynthia, this is the solution we've come up with. So we don't have a replay of the June 5th Melton Bell show. I'm sure you saw that.
I was there.
Consensus is that he performed you ain't nothing but a hound dog with more bumps and grinds than a stripper.
It was an event.
NBC received so much mail and telephone on that. They're petrified. And correct me if I'm wrong, this was only his 3rd TV appearance?
First on Jackie Gleason and second on Milton Bell.
Oh, let's see how they respond to treats. Here, I brought some. Would you like to give them some?
I would. Thanks. Here you go.
So it seems Mr. Presley has become very comfortable on TV.
He's very relaxed. Here you go. Lay down.
Well, I don't know if the word relax is the correct word.
And you have the tuxedo?
The tux is right here.
Oh, good girl.
There will be chandeliers in the background.
Oh, that's nice.
The dog pig will also have on a top hat, as will Mr. Presley.
Plus top hats. Now your turn.
We're sure the audience will be tapping their feet, snapping their fingers, swaying with Mr. Presley.
The problem is, Mr. Presley does all of those things together.
Well, he's going to have to contain himself for this formal occasion, where he's introduced to millions throughout the nation. Cynthia, this is a tremendous opportunity, you must admit.
Well, everything that's been happening in the past year has been tremendous. In fact, Elvis' career has taken off. No one can keep up with it. And which is why I'm leaving. In fact, this is my last day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not. I have 2 children I haven't seen in 2 months. I just want to go home, and I am tomorrow.
That's understandable.
And
Now, Cynthia, before you say anything else, I've heard that Elvis may be going on the Ed Sullivan Show.
yes, tentative for September 9th.
Well, congratulations on the tentative.
Thank you. And
And I've heard that Ed Sullivan's not going to allow Mr. Presley to be filmed below the waist.
which is why tonight's show is so important. If things go well there tonight, the Ed Sullivan Show, which has a higher family draw, may allow filming of Presley completely.
Our thoughts, exactly.
And which is why you could have Elvis sing, suspended from the rope, and the corner will go along with it.
Well, I thank you and the Colonel for your honesty on this.
And which is why I think they sent me. They realize there is something they have to do. They just want to do it and move on.
Oh, and white gloves. He has to wear white gloves. They're in the tuxedo.
Plus white gloves. Okay. Presley will go out with one of these hound dogs, sing to her, wear the tuxedo, but there is one thing we would like to request.
And remember to tell the Colonel that we are agreeing to film Mr. Presley fully.
Yes, but there is one thing Mr. Presley would like to request.
Okay?
Mr. Presley would like to request that with his tuxedo be allowed to wear his blue suede shoes.
Perhaps we can work that in. Consider it done.
Thank you. I'll take the tuxedo and the shoes.
And do you care to cast a vote as to which dog to use?
No, they were beautiful.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too, Cynthia.
Nice to meet you.
Don't you have to run by Mr. Allen about the blue suede shoes?
Who cares?
It breaks formality.
It's no big deal.
Maybe it's just the opening that Elvis needs to go nuts.
It's a little thing. Mr. Allen. Colonel Del Parker's secretary was here. Not Elvis or Parker. And Elvis is going to go up there